Hey everybody, welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of 911. And this is the original, so it is back. It looked like they took a little break because this one was episode 11 of season 3, and it was titled Seize the Day. So our original crew is back. We are back in action for the next few weeks. And so let's get it started. It was started with a 911 call. Her mother and daughter were skydiving or whatever. The mom was sounding like she was because she kept saying like seize the day, let's do stuff while we young, well not young, but while we can and stuff like that. And the daughter was like, what do jumping out of the plane got to do with anything? And the mom was basically like, look, this is what we're gonna do, this is mother-daughter time, blah blah blah. She trying to hook her up because I guess the girl don't got no girlfriend. You have a boyfriend or husband or no kids and stuff like that. So she's trying to hook her up with the instructor. She like, Stefano, you got, and the girl like, is this the plane that's going down or whatever? So they get in the plane. They about to jump out the plane. Somehow the plane jerked or whatever. So the instructor, Stefan, he banged his head at the top of the plane. He had a helmet on, but the impact must have been real bad because it knocked him unconscious. And next thing you know, the pilot had already opened up the back. So the back was opening up. He go rolling out. The mom was trying to grab him. She didn't grab him. Instead, she opened up the parachute. The parachute got stuck in something. So he just dangling outside the plane. I said, oh my God. So not of course, but thank goodness he was unconscious. Child, because I would have pissed, pooped, I'd have died right in there, okay? But he just dangling. They call 911. The crew get there, the fire truck, Buck, the 118, all them, they get there or whatever like that. They're like, how the hell we gonna get him down? And we gotta spray him with all this stuff because he got the stuff from the plane on him and all this other stuff. So they like, how we gonna get him down? Cap asked Buck, like, your leg all right? Is everything okay with your leg? He was like, yeah, it's good. So next thing we see, Buck and Eddie on the top of the fire truck. They driving underneath the plane. Cap called into the pilot and was like, look, I need you to lower the plane. He was like, but my friend's still hanging out the plane. You want me to land or whatever? He was like, no, I just want you to get close enough to where it's like you landing, but I'm gonna grab him. We gonna grab him. So he was like, all right, whatever. So they do that the first time. They missed, so they ain't grab him the first time. So he was like, you gotta do it again. He was like, well, this is gonna be the last time because I can't keep going low like this or whatever. So they was like, all right, this is the last time y'all got to get him or whatever. So the pilot does it again. He flies down low enough. And then this time, Eddie and Buck, they do grab him. They get him. They, put the oxygen on him, get him all stabilized and stuff like that. Here go the mama. The daughter, she's still like, I don't even know why we did this. We ain't do this. We ain't doing this ish again type thing. The mama like, but I still need grandkids. She turned to Buck and Eddie asking them was they single. I say I cannot, but they cute and they both are single. So shoot, I don't blame her. Anyway, next we see Kat, Michael, Alfina, what's the little boy name? Henry, is it Henry? Henry, something like that. And May, they all sitting at the table. And May like, well, what's going on? Because every time you sit at this table like this in a circle, something bad happening. And they was like, no, we just want to talk to you about what's going on with Dad and stuff. So they tell him. He said the tumor, because remember he had brain cancer before they went on break. Or not, he had it before, but he told them he had brain cancer before he went on break. So he was like, okay, good news is after the radiation, the cancer didn't grow. And they was like, oh, yeah. But he was like, but it didn't shrink either. So the radiation didn't really hit the tumor. So they was like, well, what's next? And so they was telling them it's going to be surgery. And so May all concerned and stuff like that because she all morbid and thinking this man going to die and all this other stuff. So she like, I don't know if we should have this surgery and stuff. And he was like, look, they're going to get half of it out and then it should be fine. She was like, that's what they said about radiation. He like, look, this is what we're going to do. They're going to schedule the surgery. It's going to be fine. They go for that. Next, we see Bucky in the doctor's office, and he getting cleared. Basically, he don't have no more blood clots. The doctor was saying like the screws in his leg probably was causing the issues that he was having, but he's like clean. So the doctor was like, I don't need to see you no more unless you have some more issues or you getting ran over by a fire truck again type thing. But other than that, you are good to go. Peace. So Buckley, you there. Then we see Maddie and Chimney. It's Chimney's birthday or whatever. So Maddie cooking, child. Why she pour all that water in the meatball? I said, Maddie, no, that ain't what? Like, child, it was a knock at the door. But before I knock at the door, Chimney got his phone and he was like, oh, my dad called me. He remembered my birthday or whatever like that. It's a knock at the door. Maddie was like, all right, you go listen to your voicemail. I'm going to go answer the door. She go answer the door. It's this other Asian guy here at the door. She like, hello? He was like, yeah, can I see Howard or whatever? And she was like, are you a friend and stuff? And then Chimney come back out and he was like, no, that's my brother. So his dad had left him a voicemail on his phone, not to wish him happy birthday, but I guess to tell him that his half brother was coming up to see him or he ran away and whatever. So they at the table or whatever, and he tearing that food up. He like, oh, Maddie, you the best cook ever. I was like, not what we just saw. But he tearing that food up. And she was like, wow, it's, how come y'all never met or something? He was like, yeah, it's been 20 years and I ain't never meet my brother. So he basically telling Chimney and Maddie why is he there. And he said he left home because his dad is kind of forcing him to go to a particular grad school and he don't really know what he want to do and stuff. And Chimney was like, oh, okay, I see the family resemblance there because like I guess Chimney didn't know what he wanted to do and stuff like that. So he was like, what's the brother named Albert? So he was like, yeah, so I just left or whatever, because he's not going to force me to do what he want me to do, and I wanted to be like you and just, stay in my ground and go or whatever. And so he was like, well, and Chimney was like, yeah, on my couch or whatever. And he was like, oh, that's not a problem. I can stay on your couch or whatever like that. And he was like, Chimney ain't saying that. Maddie answering for Chimney. She was like, of course you can. You're his brother. I said, Maddie, you can't talk for this man because this man don't even know this boy or whatever like that. But Chimney was like, yeah, you can stay on my couch or whatever just for a visit or whatever. And he was like, oh, okay. So Maddie was steady talking to him, talking about season a day or whatever. And Chimney in his feelings because he like, yeah, you just seized my birthday type thing. So he ain't really happy. Next, we see another 911 call. It's a man. He out there fishing with his wife. The wife sitting there reading her book. She is just like, yeah, honey, that's a good fish. Yup, that's big. She wouldn't even pay him no attention. I was like, yeah, that's some shit I do. But anyway, he like, come on, babe. You said you was gonna come out here, and relax and fish with me and stuff. And she like, well, I'm reading my book. You fishing? He's like, come on. So then he started teaching her how to fish. And the whole time I was like, oh my God, what she gonna hook this hook? I was like, oh no. Every time she cast it out, I said, oh God, this thing gonna catch on him. But it didn't. She ended up catching like this little fish or whatever, this little tiny catfish. Child, he like, oh baby, before you throw it back in, you got to take a picture with it or whatever. So he's showing her how to take the picture and stuff like that. And he's trying to show her how to take a picture. Like, you got to take the picture like this and blah, blah, blah. So, what did he do? Oh, he was like, you hold it up like this and you take the picture and all this other stuff. Next thing, the little fish must have wiggled his tail or something and it slipped out his hand. The fish went in this man's throat. Okay. Child, the wife called 911. They get over there. The fish still wedged in his throat and the man not breathing, of course, because the fish is blocking his airway and stuff. So they get there. They like, we need to help him fast and whatever. So they get the trick. They go down there. The little fish still wiggling his tail. Say, oh my God. They ended up grabbing the fish and pulling it out, and then the man started coughing up blood and stuff, and he was fine. He took him to the hospital and stuff like that. What was it? Okay, then the next scene we see Chimney on the computer with his dad or whatever, via Skype or something, I guess. And the dad talking in his language and Chimney talking in English. So the dad fussing at him, basically. The dad just fussing. Like, he don't need to be there with you. He need to be here. I don't know why he there, why he following after you and stuff. And Chimney like, well, I'm doing good in life. I got a job. I got this. I got a family. I'm doing good and something. He was like, well, look, he was like, what the dad said? because Chimney said something about you left me or something. I had to do it on my own. He was like, that was your choice or whatever. The dad just basically don't approve of anything Chimney do and all this other stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? But we found out later what happened and stuff. So the dad don't approve. The dad want the brother home, Albert. He want him to come back home. He need to tell him to come back home and all this other stuff. And then while Chimney was talking to Daddy, basically disconnected Dad's site call. I said, oh, that was some ignorant ass shit. So they don't get along at all. They have like zero relationship or anything like that. Then we see at the firehouse, Cap, he's talking to the crew about, Michael's status and the surgery, the radiation and stuff, and his options and all the other stuff. Then Chimney says something in reference to like the family members or brothers or something like that. And Buck was like, so things not working out with Albert? And they was like, well, who Albert and stuff? And he was like, yeah, he's my half brother and all this other stuff. So they started and he started telling them about, the half brother and stuff. So he down in the dumps and stuff because like he don't know this guy. He think that the brother had more opportunities than him because he had a relationship with his dad and stuff. And he's jealous and mad at the same time. But he don't really had no right to be mad at Albert because Albert, it seemed like he didn't know or whatever. But I'm jumping ahead. But anyway, he come in there with this long ass paper talking about something. Here you go, here you go, here you go. And they was like, what is this talking point? She was like, yeah, me and Karen are trying to adopt and, they're going to call y'all for some references. So, just say a couple nice things. They was like 27 nice things. And she was like, yeah, Karen's very thorough. She has to write down the paper and stuff like that or whatever. So that was it for that. Then we see another 911 call. They had a lot of 911 calls, child. I was loving it. But so it was a 911 call. A banker, he going to this man's house. The house is foreclosed on. But you can't tell the man who lived in that house that house is no longer his. Because he is delusional to the T, okay? He like, you know how much I could sell this house for? Like he had cement and he looked like he was doing lawn work and all this stuff. The man like, this ain't your house no more, son. This is foreclosed on. We just sent you notice after notice after notice. We just sold this house to this man right here. This is no longer your house. He was like, what are you talking about? I can sell this house right here for this. He was like, this ain't your house no more. He was just like, all right, I don't know what you're talking about. And so the guy, the delusional man, he hops in this what is not a tractor, but like some kind of workers. I can't think of the name of the dang one thing, and I don't even know if I really know the name of it. I just know you do a lot of lawn work and stuff with it. But he hopped in there. The man called. He was like, well, I'm just calling the cops to get you removed from the property. So he called the cops. He on the phone with Maddie. And he's telling him, like, this guy is trespassing, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, that we hear the man screaming. Because the delusional man that ran over the banker with the damn heavy equipment, child. I said, oh, my God. Now he ain't got no house. And he going to jail. Like, is he serious right now? So, they come. The crew come or whatever like that. They, because he rolled over his like stomach, everything. So they him get in there and she lifted up. Then they pull him out or whatever. And then they looking from the front. They like, all right, ain't nothing look wrong in the front or whatever. They was like, all right, roll him over. They roll him over, child. His goddamn intestines is coming out his back. I said, oh my God. So of course they gotta keep the intestines wet. They rushing him to the hospital and stuff like that. They all in the of course, Cat, he called the cops to get the delusional man arrested. He talking about something, I can't believe I did that. Really? So we can't believe you did that over a house? Like, come on now. So the crew go or whatever. So then we see Chimney and Hen in the ambulance with the dude with the intestines spilling out, and he's talking about he don't even know if he want to be a banker anymore because he be taking people's homes from them and stuff, and he don't know what he want to do in life and whatever. He said he wanted to be a firefighter when he was young and stuff like that, but then he was like, well, I don't think I got the guts to do it anymore. So they started laughing because the man damn guts hacking out. I was like, oh my God. But anyway, they get back to the firehouse, Hen and Chimney. And Chimney all excited to tell the story or whatever. somebody moved out the way. Albert's sitting there, child. He at the fire station. Of course, Chimney don't want to talk no more. He was like, well, Albert, like, well, how was your day? You had any calls or whatever? I wanted to know about your life as a firefighter. He was like, well, we don't really discuss that around here. I was like, really, Chum? Because you was about to go. You was about to go into what y'all just did and stuff. Even him was looking like, what? So Albert started talking. And he was telling Cap how to make Korean dumplings and freeze them and eat them at baseball games. And he was like, oh, you like baseball? We should go to a game together. Chimney, like, he not going to be here that long. So, that ain't happening. And then Hen go over and introduce herself to him and stuff. And she like, anything you want to know about your brother, just ask me. He was like, yeah, but why they call him Chim or whatever? And then they just started looking at Chimney. And me and my family was like, but why do they call him Chimney? Y'all know why they call him Chimney? Because if they told that story, I'll miss that one. I got to rewatch that episode. Y'all let me know why they call him Chimney if y'all know. Anyway, we see another 911 call. It is an assistant or intern or whatever. He calling somebody and just going over the menu orders or whatever like that because he going to pick up some orders. Turns out it was the waitress he was talking to. So he sees his crush and he like, oh my God, there he is right there. She was like, I'm hanging up the phone on you now. Because they face to face now. So he was like, he's right there or whatever. And he was like, I don't even know if he knows my name and stuff. And she was like, Justin, order for Justin to go. Order for Justin or whatever. And that was the intern name. So she was like, I think he knows your name now. And he was like, oh my God, that was really like embarrassing and stuff like that. She was like, look, you've been starving over him or staring at him like you starving and he lunch or whatever. You is like one boiled bunny away from being a stalker. Like, just go talk to him. And he was like, I don't know if I can talk to him. I can't talk to him. But I wrote this love note on this menu. And she was like, why don't you just say your name is Justin and stuff? So they going back and forth. And she was like, look, I don't know what you're going to do, little Romeo, but he about to get a job on the other side of town. So he will not be here after today. He will be getting his panini somewhere else. So you need to go out there and talk to him. She give him his orders and stuff. And so he go to leave and he going to look for the guy or whatever. These construction workers had these metal pipes and they was walking across. So he wasn't paying attention. He turned around, bam, he ran right into the metal pipe, right into his throat. I said, oh my God, his goddamn trachea is squished. So he did mess up his windpipe and stuff like that. But they say everything else was fine. Because of course, before he did that, when he fell, when it crushed his windpipe or whatever, when he fell, the crush came running back. And he was like, oh my God. So he called 911. So the crush was there. And so Hen and Chimney, they came on the scene. They said everything was fine, but his windpipe was crushed. And they went to put oxygen on him and stuff. But the guy couldn't talk. The one, of course, with his windpipe crushed, he couldn't talk. And the crush was over there. And they was like, well, do you know his name and stuff? And so the crush knew all the information about him. He was like, I think his name is this. He works here. I think he has a nut allergy. Like, he knew about this. So he was crushing. They was both crushing on each other. It was cute. So then the waitress came out with the menu. She started reading the love note out loud. And he like, oh. And he like, oh. He embarrassed to tell, but he can't say nothing. So the crush just smiling and stuff. And then he says there was something at the end, and then the guy was like, he was like, what you want? And so Chimney was like, would you like to ride in the ambulance with him or whatever? And the crush was like, yeah. So it was cute. They had ended like that. Then we see Chimney, he going to like the karaoke bar or whatever. I guess to continue to celebrate his birthday or just wind down. I don't know. But he got 23 messages. It was 23 or 33 messages from his dad. He was like, I ain't never get these many messages from my dad my whole entire life. Then I got in this last few days. And it's all because of Albert. Like, he keep asking me about Albert and talking to Albert, his favorite son and all this other stuff. I just don't. And so Mandy was like, look, don't worry about Albert. Just come here. We having a good time. Child, he ran the corner. Guess who on the stage with goddamn Hen? Albert. I said, oh my Lord. He on the stage singing karaoke with Hen. Of course, Chimney all in his feels like, now he hanging with my family? Like, what? So again, because he was at the firehouse, now he doing karaoke. So they sit down, they playing pool or whatever, and they telling Albert, like, just do your own thing. Eddie like, look, if I would listen to my old man, I'd have been working for him and not doing this, having a good time or whatever. everybody basically was just like they did their own thing, just do your own thing. So Albert was like, because he looks up to Chimney, even though Chimney act like he don't know. He looks up to Chimney, and he was basically telling them, like, he was saying like, well, I want to do that, but I have to get my brother's courage and stuff like that, because I'm not as strong as my brother or whatever like that. So I want to get his courage and stuff to go out here and do it. And so Chimney was, everybody was like, oh, because it was real sweet. Here go Chimney. No, it wasn't. I ain't take no stand or nothing like that. I was left behind. So what did he say? He was saying like all this stuff. He was like, I was left behind. Nobody cared about me. You his favorite son. And Albert was like, but you don't know what I've been through at home. He was like, well, you had a relationship with him. That's what I do know. And everybody loves you. Everybody loves Albert. And he was like, this table has proven that. And you always had a family. I had to piece my family together, and here you come. What you won't do, basically, is take my family away from me or whatever like that. And he was like, well, I'm your brother. He was like, well, you're not my brother. I had a brother. His name was Kevin, and he died, basically. He was like, you came to me because you needed something from me. So Albert, of course, got all his feelings. So he leaves or whatever. And then Chimney was just like, basically, yeah, I already know I suck or whatever. So then we find out that Albert's staying with Buck. And Maddie was just like, what was up with that? Like, you talking about everybody love, because they get back at home. So she was like, you talking about everybody love him, and that's crazy or whatever like that. He was like, well, your daddy love him. And Maddie like, well, you don't know what went on there or whatever like that. And Chimney was like, well, I spent years trying to bridge the gap, and he wasn't, and I just assumed like he really wasn't interested in just being a dad. But it turns out he just really wasn't interested in being my daddy or whatever like that. And so Maddie told him again, like, you just don't know the relationship. Like, you don't know what happened between him. And he was like, well, he had a relationship. She was like, but it couldn't have been a good relationship because he ran to you or whatever. She was trying to compare the relationship with her husband. He was like, but that was your ex-husband. You was trying to get away from him. He was abusive. And she was like, yeah, but I ran to my brother because I could trust him or whatever. And she was saying like she had her parents were bad. What she say? They did bad things or something. They were bad parents and stuff like that, and who made bad decisions, stuff like that. So they had Chimney thinking and stuff. Then we see May. She at her dad's house. She just popped up on stuff. He was like, well, what you doing? He had his last will and testament out. So, of course, she thinking automatically, oh, my God, you dying. You was lying to us. So you sicker. And he was like, look, people update their last will and testament when they about to have surgery because you just never know. And they just need to update it and stuff. And she was like, well, won't you? I read about the surgery. It's real risky. I did my research. I know it's risky. He was like, yeah, I know it's risky, but I'm afraid. That I'm not going to have a good quality of life. I'm afraid I'm going to die in a year if I don't have the surgery. I'm afraid of dying. I'm afraid of living without, like, I'm just afraid. And so he was kind of telling her, like, she was like, you have options. You still have hope. Don't be afraid and all this other stuff. So, I'm just going to get to the, finish the, May thing. So then the next day or whatever, they having a barbecue, and he had some alcoholic drinks, and Althena was like, you sure you want to have that alcoholic drink in your surgery next day? He was like, well, I decided not to have the surgery. And May like, well, that's not what I was talking about there. He was like, yeah, I know, but I'm just going to focus on today or whatever. So Harry, he was like, well, what if you don't get the surgery? Here go May. He gonna die. I said, damn, May, he's so damn morbid. She reminded me of my middle child. So morbid. But he was like, no, I got other options out there. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep doing this or whatever like that. So I'm just going to worry about today and then, take one day at a time type thing. And I think like, where is this coming from? And he was like, it's coming from my heart or whatever. And so they kind of ended it there. Then Chimney went to Buck's place to talk to Albert. And he apologized to Albert and stuff. And Albert was like, yeah, I apologize to you too, because I shouldn't have just popped up. It was presumptuous of me to just assume that you would just take me in and I'd be your brother and stuff like that. And so Chimney was like, he was like, Albert was saying he was going home, or not going home. He was packing up his stuff to leave. And Chimney was like, where you going to go? He was like, I don't know. But he not going back to Korea or whatever. And he was like, what about your mom? He was like, my mom said she would visit me over here in Cali. And then he was like, and what about Pops? He was like, yeah, he just told me I needed to bring my ass home and I'm not. So Chimney starts telling him about how he arrived in America. So his dad had a job promotion or something. He came over to America with, his wife and Chimney. So he, like 2 years later, I think he was going back to Korea. The wife didn't want to go because she, fell in love with America and stuff like that. So she didn't want to go. The dad just dipped. He said, "All right, well, deuces." He just assumed that she was going to be like, it was going to be too hard or whatever, and she was going to change her mind and come back to Korea with him. She didn't. She ended up getting cancer and died when she was about 15 years old. So he didn't really have another family, but Kevin and them family must have took them in and stuff like that and raised them and stuff. So he was like, "Well, I was just left behind. It really wasn't no stand type thing." And then in the end, Chimney invited Albert to stay with him or whatever. Not, I don't know if it's gonna be like long term, but in enough time for him to kind of decide what he wants to do type thing. So they had like a little heart to heart there. Then we see everybody over at Eddie's house, and it's like the 118 and a couple other friends over there, and they just having like a little gathering and stuff. And they was just talking, and Albert was there, little Christopher was there, everybody was there. It was just like a little cute little gathering. And then we saw Karen and Hen at the adoption office. They got a little baby girl. Karen was nervous, of course, but Hen kind of calmed her down and stuff like that. And then at the end, we see Maddie. She's meeting Kevin's parents, which are basically Chimney's extended family type thing. So she was nervous, but they seem to have liked her when it went off or whatever like that. And that was the end of the episode. So it was real good. This one was real cute or whatever. The next couple episodes, when they showed like the previews, so that they gonna be boom boom booming, y'all. So I'm excited. Y'all know I love the original. I like Lone Star too, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original one. But I will be back next Monday for this review. It might be a little late in the day because I watch another show on Monday too that conflicts with it, but y'all will still get this review. All right, y'all, tell me what y'all felt about this episode. If you like this review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you are not subscribed to my channel and you would like to be, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the little notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all, until next time, peace.